दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad Gujarat Express, Rathi Station, Netaji Bhavan.
When life is tough, you look at this platform, Cricbuzz for Happiness. And which is why we've invited our very dear Pommie Mbangwa. You're watching Voltas presents Cricbuzz Live. Firstly, sir, commiserations. Because
sure.
I know that...
It's nice to see you, but I was going to lead with that. It's not nice to see you, maybe, because what are you on about?
We need to...
What are you
Look,
on about?
Pommie Mbangwa, while he may have been physically at the Wankhede last night, his head and heart were in this beautiful city called Bilbao in the north of Spain. And we've somehow managed to drag him to the studio. He just wasn't willing to.
Nah, let me tell you, given what has happened yesterday, you didn't have to drag him. He would have come himself.
I didn't want to be at the...
By the way, the city of Bilbao is also nicknamed The Hole.
Say that again.
The city of Bilbao,
Yeah.
where this game was played last night, the Europa final, is also nicknamed The Hole. And so the upside is that United have pulled themselves out of the hole because they've gone back to England.
No, I thought you meant whole as in full.
No, H-O-L-E.
Never mind.
Are we going to move on?
At some point. Hey, do you have a team you support? What team you support?
I support the team that wins.
Okay, so you do not have a dog in the fight, and therefore you can't be...
I support the Mumbai Indians. And you've got to tell us about the vibe and the mood with MI, since you were there last night, commentating full power, full energy as always. What is it like? MI, are they looking like a team that will go on to win title number 6?
Hello, Joy. Nice that you're here.
Yeah, lovely to speak. You have somebody to speak to.
Yeah, I can speak
Who
to
doesn't
you.
talk about Bilbao?
Correct. How good's that? You know, we can have like a cricket conversation.
A decent cricket
Because there's a tournament that's on and, well, we know the qualifiers
Exactly.
and all of this. Yeah, we can do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I tell you what.
2 words. Brennan Johnson.
Wankhede. At the Wankhede, at the best of times, it's great to be there. Tell you what, last night was fantastic from a kind of ebb and flow perspective. The jeopardy of it all was brilliant. And it was because Mumbai Indians, yes, I said when we were sitting here with Harsha, great expectations from their fans that they're going to make it. They're playing well, 6 on the bounce, you know, no problem. Yes, there was the game that kind of spoils it all in the middle. They're going to get there because they've gone on that roll. And then they're kind of struggling along. Yeah. And everyone's wondering, hold on, they're going to struggle to get 160. How are you going to defend 160 odd here in Mumbai? Not possible. I had not seen anyone do that, not for the longest time. Sky is the limit. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I must mention Namandir, really good, and he's been good through the season. And then it's kind of a celebration from then on because the bowlers coming. And they're the real superstars, by the way, the bowlers. Yeah, they come in and they kind of put the icing on the cake. It was fabulous to watch. And there is a belief in that team that no matter the situation, they have the personnel to be able to troubleshoot and arrive at what is necessary on the night. And so they're dangerous. Yep, they're very dangerous.
To the emotional, excitable MI fan, this team is perhaps similar to the Australian white ball team from 15 years ago. Or is that an overstatement?
No, this is by far the strongest team. But I mean, the point is, this team is not very different from the team last year. I mean, all the major pieces of last year's team is there. Perhaps they've added Bolt, they've added a spinner. I mean, Santner is there. But most of the pieces you see, Tilak Verma, you know,
Sky.
Bumrah, Sky, Rohit, Hardik, they were all there. So the thing is that they have now gelled together. That season is gone. They've gelled together. They've got that feeling. Rohit no longer feels hard done by. He's in a relaxed mood. So the mood of the camp has changed. And I think the biggest worry for them yesterday would have been the weather. Because in this run, the only match they lost was a match where the weather played a huge part.
Against GT, yes.
Against GT. So they would have been looking at the weather and saying, can this cost us? And which is with their biggest nerve. Once Sky got those runs, their biggest worry was let 5 overs finish.
Yeah.
Because the moment 5 overs finished, they were already so far behind, then they knew that they were out of danger.
Yep, and it poured and poured right after the game. During the presentation, it was raining as well. Not before MI ensured qualification. Just a reminder, GT, RCB, Punjab and MI have qualified. So that is not changing. We already have 6 eliminations. The question, though, is who will finish in the top 2. Gujarat at number 1. They've got 2 games left. And so do Bengaluru, who are at number 2 with 17 points. GT, a lot of things have gone right for them, Joy. Is this the team that will surely be in the top 2? They're best placed right now.
I feel they're best placed. I definitely feel they're best placed, and this is a game where they can just stamp it and finish it off. Because 20, once the way they are, after that, for 2 teams to cross them will be very difficult.
Yeah.
So they win today, they've almost certainly ensured first place, first or second place. I think, and they're playing on their home ground. Somebody else who doesn't have as much skin in the game right now, they've not qualified. So I think this is a great opportunity for GT just to put the icing on the cake and just make sure that last day is not that tense.
Gujarat won the toss and they've chosen to bowl first, but this one against LSG and the last game against CSK, both very much winnable, with due respect to both those teams.
Yeah, what you don't want, though, is to kind of go in complacent and thinking that you will win, because whilst teams, who you're playing against no longer have skin in the game, so to speak, in terms of this season, there's always something to play for. And in those camps, what you'll see is that, everybody who's there will be quite happy to take 2 points off you, to try and make sure, 1, that they finish well, 2, they put their best foot forward so they're front of mind for their franchise coming into next season. And 3, why give you an easy ride, And between kind of bowlers and batters, whatever battle might be on today is not one that just kind of disappears into the ether. It's one that's logged and it's banked in the back of your mind, so that the next time you meet, if you have the wood over the guy and you got him or you took him down, whichever one it is, then you can use that as a reference point for the next time where there's a contest, and you never know. In that contest, there might well be a whole lot on the line, rather than here where it's a kind of pride of performance, and make sure that you have the bragging rights.
That's exactly what Pant said at the toss. He said there is a challenge when you're already eliminated, but we take pride in playing cricket. How tough is it for the think tank or the support staff to get the team ready for a game that is not going to have any real impact on the season for them?
See, it's not difficult for them to get ready, because there's a lot at stake. There are younger players who might be getting an opportunity today to play. There are other people who are saying, I haven't had a great year, I want to finish this. There are others like Markram who'd be saying, you know what, I want to reach 500 runs, I want to make this a really, really big season for me. So there's different motivations there. The only difference is, I think, it's a lovely point that Simon made a few days back. And he says, yes, these teams have nothing to lose, but they also have nothing to win. So what happens is, when you play these teams, they'll play you tough for a while. But if you keep pushing at them, and you almost knew most of the games that, Rajasthan lost towards the end, you knew that, against Punjab, they were doing so well. But you knew once they lost a couple of wickets, you keep pushing, perhaps they're not as desperate as you are. Maybe that's the only difference, I'd say. But that only happens if you withstand that pressure. And I think that LSG has a lot of good pieces which can really put you under a lot of pressure.
You guys and girls have a lot to win. 2.2 crores the prize money. Where? On Cricbuzz 11. That's the app you've got to have on your phone, because that's where you get a chance to win such massive cash prizes. And also, if you're a first-time user, you get a free entry. So get that app on your phone right away. Let's take a look at the 11s. Gujarat have won the toss and they've chosen to bowl first on a pitch that will have a lot of runs, as we've seen in the past. This is their bowling first 11, as expected. A 10-wicket win against the Delhi Capitals in Delhi. And why change what's working, Pommie?
Yeah, they've been an impressive side all the way through, and we're talking about a bowling side here. The fact that Rabada is sort of being worked back in, and I say worked back in, I think being worked back to form. He would have been their first choice. They played him early doors, played those couple of games, and now they just want to make sure that come playoff time, he's absolutely raring to go. He's a champion, absolute champion. Yeah. They want in the crunch scenarios to have the most experienced bowlers, the most impactful bowlers, and as a group they've been brilliant. Prasidh Krishna has led them fantastically, and whilst they might have thought about it from a different perspective early in the season or at the start of the season, they'd have probably thought, Rabada, you lead for us and the rest will complement you. They might have thought Siraj, whatever it is, but Prasidh has been really good, and what's good about him is being a tall boy. He's taller than people think, I reckon, and there isn't quite the expectation from him sometimes with what he delivers. But for season after season, not just for franchise teams, for India as well, he's been absolutely fantastic, up front, middle and back.
Right on cue, Pommie, because Prasidh Krishna is our player to watch out for, powered by Vida. Much like the Vida leaves everyone else behind, Prasidh Krishna has done so as well in a team that has a lot of other stars. He's outbowled Mohammad Siraj, 21 wickets, Joy. Exactly what this man would have wanted. Missed out on playing in the IPL the last 2 seasons. What a comeback it is.
Not only what a comeback it is, he started off not bowling with the new ball.
Yeah.
So a lot of the guys who take wickets, are taking wickets up front,
Yeah.
And, leave the spinners. The fast bowlers who are taking wickets up front.
Yeah.
In the first match, he came on in the 10th, 11th over. He's been used somewhere in the middle. Yeah. Okay, he has bowled in the top 6 in the last 3-4 matches. He has bowled in the top 6, especially when Rabada was not there.
Yeah.
But that's his ability. His ability also he was very important for them at the start because he was getting wickets in the middle.
Yeah.
And to be able to take wickets in the middle, because when the field is, back, the batters are, more settled in. To come in and take wickets is not easy. He's been a real enforcer in the middle and he's given them stuff up front. And therefore, if you look at him, he's done all the jobs for them as a bowler.
19 wickets at an economy of 7.71. That's some dominance in the middle overs now. 2023, I think he had a stress fracture injury. Last year, had a quadriceps injury as well. Surely that would have played on his mind this year.
No. Everyone gets injured. And you've got to overcome the injury. And by overcome it, I don't mean that you play with injury. You get over it, as in you get back fit. And once you're back fit, it might take some time to sort of be confident of yourself, of your body. But yeah, that's kind of a long time in the past. Then we need to speak about form. And when you're in decent form, you've got to try and make sure that you use that form. Joyda here says that, he was it you said he outbowled Siraj, right? As a collective, everyone wants to be the best guy there, but that just only serves to ensure that everyone's complimenting everybody else. So today it might be you take the wickets, the next day it might be the next guy who takes the wickets. And what's been good from him is that we've seen test match lengths go quite well this season, particularly towards the beginning. Everyone's whacking it out the park. You can't Fuller. Can you bowl what is a test match length and not be too wide? And from the taller guys, Hazelwood, Prasidh, think about Mitchell Stark, think Arshdeep Singh. These guys are all quite tall, and when they've hit that length and kind of stayed there, it's been tough for the batters, and they've been able to take wickets. The guys that have tried to swing it and tried to be much further up, they've kind of presented opportunity to be hit over the top and had to move the ball back from there themselves. So, yeah, he's been really good with his skills and able to adjust them a lot across the course of the game.
Yeah. Well, there's a big England tour starting less than a month from now. Prasidh Krishna will perhaps enjoy the kind of trust that Vida enjoys as well. I'm not sure if we can compare formats, a 4-over format to Test cricket, but surely he can draw a lot of happy momentum from what he's done at the IPL, and perhaps he will have that rhythm as well in England.
Yeah, I think definitely he should be going to England. With his height, his ability to get bounce, I mean, he has to be there. And the only thing that, question for me for Prasidh Krishna is just the ability to be, you go play test match cricket means you're expected to bowl 25, 30 overs.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one fitness that we'll be looking to. He's broken down a little in the past. Yeah. But I think a lot of work has gone into him in the NCA. He is definitely, for me, just, we talk about Sudarshan being a 3-format bat. I think he's a 3-format bowler for me.
He played in Australia, didn't he?
Yes, one test.
Yeah.
So, and that's a good thing because the reason I ask is because then he already was in the minds of the selectors.
Yeah.
You can't mess about with form and rhythm, and he seems in a rhythm. The question is whether after this, 3rd of June, after the 3rd of June, can you get enough miles in the legs and be ready when it's time? And, I'm not a selector or anything, but I'm sure he's going to come up in the conversation.
This year, he's left everyone else behind, much like Hero's brand new e-bike. That's the Vida, and clearly Prasidh Krishna has done well enough to be trusted on Indian roads, and he is our player to watch out for, powered by Vida. A look now at the Impact 5, and the 11 that we saw was Gujarat's bowling first 11. No surprise there. Sai Sudarshan will be the man that will walk out to bat for the Gujarat Titans with Shubman Gill, the captain. Lucknow 11, believe there is a change for this game. In fact, two of them, Shahbaz Ahmed comes in and so does Himmat Singh. Joy.
So Shahbaz definitely, because Digvesh Rathi, we spoke about this yesterday, that Shahbaz is the natural choice.
Yeah.
In fact, Shahbaz is a very decent bat as well, because he gives you a little bit with the bat. Left arm spinner, plays for Bengal. He's from Mewat in Haryana. Really, really talented cricketer. IPL teams are so stacked that it's very difficult to remove. And Digvesh, the reason why he got the start ahead of everyone else is, mystery bowler first. It's really difficult to play you up front. You have not been. Nobody has actually videoed you. So I think Digvesh did a really good job, but it's good to see him. Himmat Singh is a solid batter. He plays for Delhi as well.
Yes, right-hand batter.
Right-hand
Can bowl a bit of off-spin as well. Now, on Digvesh.
Yes.
A suspension.
Yes.
Was that a bit harsh?
Very harsh, I think. I think, and I looked, I was there, obviously, during the game, and I wondered post all of it, whether it was just about how it looked. Because to me, even though Abhishek reacted and all the rest, and Michael Goff had to get in the way, it's just handbags. It's not, do you know what I mean? There's not much really going on. It's just a couple of guys who are in a contest. It gets heated because as the bowler, you don't want to disappear to all parts. Nobody ever does. Yeah. And nobody enjoys disappearing to all parts. As a batter, you don't want to get out. And when you've got out, you'll be a bit hot under the collar. And if somebody tells you, right, cold on the left and, hot on the right, it's actually the other way around. But, you might react to it, you might not. In the end, though, it might just be about optics rather than anything else. Because if you ask me, has he done anything particularly wrong? Then no, I don't think he has. Has he been what's wrong with that? Yeah, and he's kind of walked a tightrope with it right from the beginning. And I don't think right from the beginning anyone's kind of thought anything was wrong with it. But the fact that he gets fined, I think it is, for going up to the batter and kind of giving it this one the first time, and then has to write on the ground and still get fined again, I think, for doing that. And then now he's right, and then he's over there somewhere, still getting fined, So you can't be telling a guy, don't celebrate or don't send whoever off.
It may have been because of what he has said after the celebration.
I think what happened was, I think they told him when he was writing in the air, you can't do it. So then, so he's got fined 2 times before, this is the third fine.
Yeah.
So then he would decide to write on the ground.
Yeah.
So I think this time again he got excited and wrote in the air. And my point is, I don't think writing in the air, I totally agree with you, writing in the air or writing on the ground, none of this is insulting the batsman or anything in a way. But because the umpires or match referees have taken a stand that writing in the air is not allowed, now they feel forced to, go along and say, we told you not to do it. Why have you done it again?
Yeah, he kind of did. He kind of gave that gesture as well. He looked back, and maybe that's it. So that's why I'm saying it's just the optics. And if Abhishek doesn't respond or react to being sent off and just walks off, I don't know that he gets fined. I don't know that he gets into any trouble.
But Abhishek is a Delhi boy as well.
So, but the fact that he comes back and goes, hey, what's going on? And then he asked, I didn't say anything to you. I'm just like celebrating. I got your wicket. You know, what do you want me to do?
Only a fine for Abhishek. Why wasn't he suspended?
No, I think the issue for Digvesh is that it's
Repeat offense.
kind of repeat offense, and he's ended up with like a demerit or whatever, which warrants a suspension, right? So he's kind of a repeat offender. I say offender using the word only because that's what the
He's
authorities.
a Delhi boy. He's like asking a Delhi guy to park in a particular place. I mean, what do you mean? Who are those lines for? You mean I have to listen to somebody who's painted lines in the ground?
Hey, I've got something. Yeah. I think I actually just posted it on Instagram. Driving from across in Colaba, coming this way to Parel, you go in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And when you're in the tunnel, you have to drive in the lanes. And you have to drive at 60 kilometers an hour or less. And I didn't know that people could do that in Mumbai. They can.
Yeah, you mean people can drive in it?
It blew my mind. I was like, what is going on? I asked the driver, Markram. I said, Markram, what's going on? Why are you driving in the lane? He said, cameras. And he also said, I have to stick to the speed limit because of the cameras. I said, so you can drive in the lanes? He said, yes. I said, what about Hooter? He said, no need. So nice, silent drive through the tunnel. Do you drive?
I only drive people mad.
Or you get driven. Okay, fine. Move on.
But in India, as I said, you have to look at it. See, in the West, traffic signals are basically they are lights to follow. They are rules to follow.
In the West.
In the West, okay?
Right.
You come further towards Turkey and all, it sort of dissipates a bit.
Right.
Then there are suggestions to follow. Please stop, please go and all that, okay?
Right.
In India, they're Diwali lights. Oh, look at it, red, blue, green, yellow, orange. So that's how you have to look at it. They're Christmas decorations.
As a proud Mumbaiker, to our defense, yes, we do have a lot of things to work on, but we're doing a lot of things right. So don't worry.
I love it.
It's only on Voltas Presents Cricbuzz Live that you'll get to understand and learn so many things about life other than cricket. I suppose it's also because the traffic police was ready to do this.
Correct.
They were also giving.
Correct.
Maybe that's what Digvesh wanted to do.
Exactly. Samajhte nahi ye log. Anyway, what about LSG's Impact 5? Who do they have to bring in the second innings? Bishnoi, Manimaran Siddharth, the left-arm spinner, no Shardul there.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to look at the first 11 first.
Yep.
Because if they have three, I'm just thinking who their bowlers are. If they have three, then Miller is a natural guy in.
No,
They have four. So Miller can only field then.
Yeah, Miller sacrificed for Will O'Rourke to bolster the bowling.
So this is their batting 11, right?
Yes.
So can we see the bowling 11 now? Can we see the
Impact 5?
the subs,
They've got a couple of spin options there. In Manimaran Siddharth and Ravi Bishnoi.
Okay.
Wouldn't be a bad idea to try Siddharth, right? You've seen a fair bit of Bishnoi. He's had a forgettable season so far. Why not try someone else?
Yeah, I agree with you, but Bishnoi's fall is something that, he was their first-time spinner. I mean, to be honest, Digvesh Rathi had an outstanding season. But Bishnoi has been a serious disappointment as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and I wonder if that is just the pressure of another spinner in there. You know what I mean? I sometimes you were talking about so-and-so has out-bowled the other.
Yeah.
And as much as I say, you get the wickets and maybe I don't, but we complement each other and I build up the pressure for you and all of that.
Sure.
Some people will feel the pressure of, I'm supposed to be number one spinner, and here's other spinner who's turned up and it feels like I've been usurped. And then some will try too hard and kind of subconsciously be focused on almost the wrong thing and not quite get it right. And it can happen. You still got to, as a champion player, one who will compete, go away, think about it, assess, and come back better. That's what you're being asked every single time.
Aiden Markram has certainly come back better after a forgettable start to the season. In the first 3 matches, Aiden Markram, who has been batting in the top order, scored only 44, poor average, terrible strike rate as well. But take a look at that. In the next 9 matches, he seemed to have found a way to adjust his own style of play to this league. Markram happier batting top of the order.
Absolutely, and I think he said something which is very interesting. He said that, I looked at Puran and I looked at the way they tried to play, and I said that, let me play like them. And I said, I can't. I don't play that way, but within my style, I can play really well and I can do well. And he says it's easy to get swept into thinking you need to keep up with the big hitters, but, 6 hitting might not be my thing, but I know how to build an innings. Okay, this is a guy who's led South Africa to its only World Cup triumph.
Yes.
Mind you, as an under-19, but he has been looked on as a future South Africa captain for a long time, which means very smart mind, sharp mind. His SA T20 team, he's captained with a lot of credit. But the thing about Markram, and I think what I really enjoyed about him is, have you seen his strike rate? So the last 2 years that he played, he wasn't a sure shot in the SRH team, and he was a captain a couple of years before. But 225 runs, 240 runs, what's his strike rate? 124 and 125. This year, look at that strike rate. It's 150. So he's really worked on his game, and I think opening has helped, but I think he's taken those opportunities and done well with it.
It's also won the SA20 as captain, so that might have perhaps helped as well.
Yeah, I think what's fundamental here, guys, is the fact that he's had to shift positions. So Markram this year plays as an opener.
Yep.
Markram of years before, captaining SRH, is batting at 4 and 5.
Yes.
It's an entirely different game where the game is laid out for you and you have to play at a certain strike rate, and the strike rate you require is just so the team wins. Right? When you turn up here as an opening batter, you've got to make the play and play according to how the surface goes, but really you've got to push ahead. Fortunately, in the time that he plays those 3 innings, he has Marsh at the other end, who's absolutely belting it. And so he's okay. It kind of buys him the time to fail a few times because the team's going well. Puran also playing well, so don't want to change the top 3. And then he works it out and comes into his own because his quality is an international player and has readjusted to being at the top of the order and been in form since. So good to see the sort of evolution and the kind of muscle memory of it all for him to end up being effective for them. What's not good, though, is they've fallen off a cliff as well as a team.
From Markram's point of view, puts him in a good zone for the WTC final as well. How key is he to South Africa's chances?
Yeah, very, very important. I think what's worked out quite nicely, and I know they're 2 entirely different formats, but in the test matches, he'll be at the top of the order. So because he's at the top of the order and he's turned up here and been at the top of the order, and because of the statement also that he makes that I'm not Mr. 6-hitter and therefore I've got to work kind of within my abilities and kind of keep things tight and so forth, it's the same sort of requirement from a mental perspective that he'll need to have when he goes off to play at Lord's for South Africa.
Very quickly, when you see players like Markram do well, Sai Sudarshan as well, it perhaps tells a 12, 13, 14-year-old that if you're a correct player, you can still score at a fair clip in this format. It's not always slam, bang, wham and crash, bang, wallop.
No, I think there's always going to be place for those players. There is going to be place for power hitters. There's going to be place for Mr. 360s, but there's always going to be place for correct players as well. Because if you have a team that needs to be consistent, and I think if you want to talk about power hitters, I mean, the best example of it is the opposing team. I mean, Gujarat, Sai Sudarshan and Shubman Gill. I mean, they play correct cricket shots. They don't necessarily, they hit sixes still. You can still hit sixes. You can hit them off the ground. So that's all that there's a huge ability there to de-risk and play. And I think both Markram and the 2 openers for Gujarat are telling you that you can de-risk your play, still score at 150 and still do it for the team.
Mitchell Marsh, Aiden Markram, Nicholas Puran, the 3 big threats top of the order from LSG for the Gujarat Titans bowlers. Gujarat have won the toss and they will bowl first. Pommie, very quickly, Gujarat's bowling plans. How do you deal with the top 3? And they are very dangerous.
They hope to heap more misery on them because, as I say, they've fallen off a cliff. LSG started off brilliantly. You also know if you are the Gujarat side, you also know that if you take a wicket or two, there's a whole lot of trouble for the LSG side. So, yeah, be in the fight at the start, philosophical about the fact that they will go at you, and Markram, Puran will send it to all parts if they get the opportunity. But you'll also get a chance because they do give chances. When they come, make sure you take them because it's critical.
Gujarat aiming for their 10th win. They are hoping and looking to finish in the top two. That's what will give them an advantage. They've got 2 games to go. Gujarat looking for their 10th and Lucknow wanting to win their 6th. Just enough time for us to ask our experts on who their pick is in this game. Gujarat clearly start hot favourites, but who knows, LSG could surprise us.
Good, but I think Gujarat, and also to be able to chase under these conditions. Knowing what you're going to go after, possible due has been a factor in Ahmedabad. I would say that they have a fair advantage.
Very high on chasing confidence as well. Didn't lose a single wicket in Delhi. Time now for Joy Factor, sir.
It's a good one. It's an interesting one. Take a look. These 2 players have opened 119 times across white ball internationals for their country. They've opened together 119 times. It's a lot. However, despite spending 3 seasons in the same team in the Indian T20 League, they've never opened together. Can you name them?
Whoa, interesting question.
So, 119 times they've opened for their country, but here they come, they can't open together, though they've spent 3 seasons together.
So,
anyway, lots of options. I think he knows what he's got, so he's maintaining what they call it.
Just Googling. I'm only joking.
That's what they call it, diplomatic silence.
Ungoogleable. That's what he's told me before, so never mind.
Joy has an army of fans that will have the answer ready. Come on now, tweet away. We will, of course, reveal the answer at the end of our coverage here on Voltas Presents Cricbuzz Live. First, Bob Boundary from Maiden Markram. Quick predictions.
I'm now just ahead of Harsha and will soon fall below him. I'm going to go at 174.
Okay, I'm going with 219.
219 for LSG.
Yes.
Big call. 188. Lock that. Come right back to us and watch Voltas Presents Cricbuzz Live. Manchester United, your future is bright. Don't you worry. I'll make sure I treat Pommie to some nice kulfi because I know I offended you. Did I? Did I not? More on that. See you on the other side. Bye-bye. Kulfi.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ